G'day champions. In the tradition of doing irrelevant shit in my videos for holidays, we're going to do a little bit of a tour of Mum's garden. It's New Year's Eve here. Hopefully by the time this makes it to the States, would have made it before New Year's Eve there. We'll see how my computer goes processing the video. We got the smoker going. It's become a bit of a New Year's Eve tradition. Got a brisket. Let's have a look, eh? Oh yeah. That's not burnt. So we're going to go over all the plants in the garden, not all of them, and just the bit of a collection here. Because last year we did the interview with the old man talking about his history in electronics. That was last New Year's Eve. So now Mum gets her turn, whether she likes it or not.
No, or not.
Here she is. Say g'day.
Hi.
So yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So I'll put the link for the last year's video in down below, and you can check that one out after this one. So here's the pergola. Shade house. Dad's built all sorts of shelving around here.
Yes.
And the bit of wall feature art up here. So, did you want to start from around here?
If you like.
Yeah, so what's this one here?
That's monk or Buddhist pine, as you can tell. He's a new addition.
Little mate.
Cute.
Looks like my head.
I had that shaped with wire to make it more horizontal than upright. So I'm happy with that shape and just keep it pinched out.
You train them with wire, and then you take the wire off once they remember the shape. You
can keep, well no, you keep it there roughly a yearish, but you've got to check it's not biting into the bark. And just, yeah, it reaches that shape.
Is that what happened here?
That's, yes, except I didn't do that.
That was the previous...
That was a master bonsaiist at Nepean Bonsai Society, if I can name names.
Oh no.
but it's a blue spruce and it's beautiful, and I've had that wired, I've taken the wire off, and it's a shape I like, so I just keep that cut back and that size.
It's a little bit like when you get an amplifier in and you can see someone's done something to it before. You're like, someone's been here.
Except you can repair it, I can't.
You can't really do much about that,
It's time, and it's looking a bit dry too. I should have had the sprinklers on.
Oh, we'll get it happening.
The black pine. In the background you've got succulents, because I've got lots of empty little bonsai pots, so I've got succulents in those, just for fun.
Back here. That's the succulents down there.
Yeah. Just to fill the spot. That's a black pine I recently got from a beautiful bonsai place in Melbourne. And a little fella fishing. It's a black pine, but I haven't worked on that one yet, so I'll let that get a bit more busy with the new growth on it.
Yep. And
the next one is a fig. Ruby, let me just think. That's fairly new from Nesky's. Little Ruby, a very close friend of Ray Nesky, developed, I guess you'd say. It was bushy in a black plastic pot out in his yard, so I've sort of made it more horizontal, I guess.
And Ray Nesky,
Ray Nesky's, well, everyone in bonsais know Ray Nesky's got the best bonsai place in Sydney. But I don't know for how long, because he's not been well.
Oh, right.
That one I bought in Melbourne, that's a silver birch. It's struggling a little bit. I'm not sure. The weather's been a bit funny, so I'm not sure about that. But it's okay, it's green.
Yeah, that's the idea.
And that's a juniper that's also a little bit struggling. I've potted them all up, but it's coming good too. The rain's good.
We had to deal with massive drought up to 2019, and then nothing but rain ever since, so it's been
that's right.
throwing the plants through a hoop.
That's a gardenia that I just bought in Bunnings.
Yep.
Shaped it, cut it back. The moss is great.
Saved it from Bunnings?
I saved it because Bunnings let them dry out, and I don't.
I love the look of the junipers though. They really get that like miniature tree look.
Yes, a few. You should have given me more notice, Brad. Brown bits I would have got rid of.
No, well, you know, battling the elements.
Yeah, but they're all work in progress.
Yeah.
That's a wisteria that doesn't flower. It's a non-flowering
How boring.
wisteria. Well, it is a bit, but it looks good. It loses its leaves, deciduous.
Yeah.
So the next one in the brown pot, that's a wisteria I dug out the front garden.
Oh,
It's
really?
grown by itself.
They go crazy.
It's a pink wisteria, that one.
Around my
So-
place, the wisteria are out of control.
Oh yeah, well I potted that up just for fun.
Another juniper.
That's another juniper.
You're getting the sort of fall, the weeping look on that one.
Yeah, and the moss is really thick. That'll turn green.
Yeah.
But I'm going to peel it all back and start again with the moss on that one.
Why not?
Yeah, well, that's right. Fairly thick.
So again, you've got a little bit of evidence of the wire on this one.
That's still wired.
It's kind of like the candy cane look.
Yeah, that's still got wire on it, I think, hasn't it? Yeah, there's
No, it's been
no.
removed. Yeah.
Yeah. That was one I inherited. My sister's neighbour passed away and her daughter sold off all the bonsais.
2015.
Yeah, so... and that's got a long story actually. That's a Korean maple or a Taiwan maple. Different people call it different things. My dad had that just in a pot. He was going to bonsai, but he passed away before he could. So I took it up to Queensland and planted it in the ground when we built a house there. And when we left, 8-9 years later, I dug it up and brought it back, planted it in the front nature strip here, and then took cuttings and made a little forest.
Made a forest, yeah.
So that was my dad's originally way back.
Sort of like
then.
standing in a forest.
Yeah. And you have odd numbers in a forest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have 3, 5, 7.
Ah. Shell
It's just
would
one of
hate that
those.
because she's obsessed with even numbers. She's
That's-
OCD.
That's an olive I've had for a long time. It did suffer a little bit, but I'm slowly getting it back, the gnarly bark back.
Yeah.
That's I've had that for quite some time. I bought that off the Bonsai Man at Glenbrook Markets
Oh yeah.
when we lived in Glenbrook all those years back.
Right.
So
This one looks like it's doing okay.
that's a Montezuma cypress. It's got to thicken up a lot, but I've shaped it when I
Seeing new growth there.
Yeah, there's lots. Yeah, so I've had that wired as well. I didn't like the shape when I got it, so I've sort of thickened the top a little bit. But and this is a it's a mondo grass they import from China for medicinal purposes.
Oh yeah.
The Chinese guy I bought it off said, he looked at me and saw my age, I think, and said, it's for, it helps you stay, it's longevity. It
Longevity.
keeps you longer. He says, it keeps you longer. And I said,
Keeps you
okay,
longer.
can I buy some? And he said, sure.
I think you got longer mixed with harder.
Now, after what I just said about odd numbers, you'll see 6 there,
Oh no.
right? I planted 5.
Oh really? And one
that's
shot
a
up.
crab apple, and one shot up by itself. I've had that. That's.
So what is it
We're
like?
not looking at the right side. That's 2014. That one.
Is it like
Crab
bad
apple.
luck to have an even number or what?
I'd like to say no. I don't know for sure. It's just how. See, mine aren't that true to
Yeah. You
the
can't
Chinese. You know.
you can't freestyle a bit.
Yeah. This is my interpretation of bonsai. That's an oak that I inherited as well. That's coming good. That's a work in progress because
2009.
the person I got it off, she didn't really shape when they were young,
Yeah.
and so
It's like people. If you leave it too long, you can't teach them anything.
Well, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Now this one, this is special. This is an elm. Was my dad's, and he potted that in 1956 when the Olympics were in Melbourne.
Wow.
And that's just acclimatising as well with the weather. it's tough, but it's coming good. So it should thicken up a lot now with the weather sort of settling a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and this one's a camellia. That's just one I bought in a plastic pot in Bunnings.
And a little bloke down here.
And the fisherman, you might notice I like these little figurines.
I think we're going to have to do a bit of a montage of them. Because I feel like if I leave one out, he might get upset.
He might.
Oh, he's caught something. He's got a fish hanging down.
Yeah, he's got a fish down there. Yeah.
There's a little bloke. Oh, he's covered with spider
Oh,
webs.
he's got spider webs.
He's been sitting very still. They're down the bottom here.
Oh, well, they're not really.
They're just...
That's a juniper pot.
I love the weeping look though, hanging over the side.
Yeah, I've been tossing up whether to get a tall bonsai pot and make it more a bonsai, because it wasn't intended to be, but it's got the good shape, bare bones of a good bonsai.
Yeah.
That's just another azalea. I bought a little one of that from Bunnings and potted it up, and I didn't sort of bonsai it yet, so... oh, don't look at that, Joe. That's when I've had up the back. I've just brought down here.
There's that wire we're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's aluminium.
That's a wisteria.
Looks like copper, but it's just got a coating on it. That's aluminium wire.
Yeah.
And some
That's
propagation
my
down the bottom.
with just all my
Just the propagation.
propagation.
So you guys, you might have heard me talk about George, the dragon tail in the shop. Here's my plant in the corner near the door when you walk in. Here's his little kids, his children. So we've grown some cuttings.
Junior Georges.
A customer brought their kit around and they snapped them all off, so we put them aside and planted them, and now there'll be extra plants.
Yeah.
So Brad's Guitar Garage will be like a jungle soon. So what's this one? Christmas bush. So this is
Oh, that's Australian native.
That's what we refer
but
to
it's
as the
not-
Christmas
it's not-
bush.
Yeah, it's not bonsai, but it flowers at Christmas.
Yeah.
And you know, florists and nurseries sell it all for people to put on their Christmas table as a, you know, a bunch of it. Looks pretty.
Nice. Alright, so over the other side, want to start with the bonsais again?
Yep. Start here at the beginning.
Yep.
That's a fiddlewood.
Oh, reminds me of my teens.
The one out the front, Brad, the huge one, is the same.
Yeah.
Huge.
Oh, that's the one on the corner.
It loses its leaves when everything else has got their leaves, and it's deciduous, but it's opposite.
So
it doesn't lose its leaves in autumn and get them in spring. It loses them in spring.
So that's that
So
sort of spindly looking tree out there.
yeah, it's losing its leaves now
Yeah.
in summer. But this lost its leaves already and got them again, so it's quicker than the big one in the garden. That's silky oak.
Yes.
Silky oak.
A couple of little blokes having a chat.
My sister had a
Playing a
huge
game or
one.
something?
It grows huge in Australia and we don't like it much. It drops all these leaves all over your garden.
Nah, it's
And
alright.
she gave me
Mulch.
3 little cuttings as a joke because she knows I don't like it at all. So I
Yeah.
bunged it in there. And so don't look at the weeds. I haven't weeded.
It's alright.
This is, whoa, look at that. That's an azalea. Mission bells. It's the little leaf and the little flower.
Right.
And I don't know why. It's change of season. I think it loses leaves, but as you can see, there's lots of new growth. So I'll just shape it again. That's just an azalea I saved from Bunnings again because they let them dry out.
So every time you go to Bunnings and you see a plant in distress, do you
I
bring it
buy
home?
No, I buy it before they stress. But they usually have a nice shape.
Yeah.
You can have a look at the shape of
Okay.
the pot.
So it's sort of a sign of things to come. You can see which one's going to make a good
They don't water as good.
contender.
Yeah.
There's
But
a-
I love azaleas.
There's a bird giving us the moon.
And another one.
Oh yeah.
And this is a pine. Black pine, again, same as that one over there, but I've had this for a lot of years. This was one of my dad's as well. I've shaped it and just taken the wire off recently, this spring.
So how old is this one, you reckon?
I did have a label. It would be 1985, I think that one.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost
As you
my
can
vintage.
See the gnarly. Yeah, that's just another azalea that I'm going to shape.
Oh, poor little azalea. Not just an azalea. You're a beautiful and unique
yes,
plant.
It is. Sorry, sorry. This is a cut leaf maple. I love, as you can see.
Yeah, I
there's
love
that
them
one,
too.
and that one, and then this one here behind us.
Yep. Beautiful.
Beautiful,
look to
isn't
'em.
it? So we've sort of shaped that. I mean, they're grafted, so they're a standard look already,
Mm.
and they're just beautiful. Love them, love them.
Nice.
Another azalea.
What's this growing down in the corner there?
That was
already
here
there when you
we
moved in, was
built-
it?
when we built all of this,
It just adds,
and
and
I
you've
cut it back, and it just grows again.
you've just
It's
gone
great.
with it.
Yeah.
And this is
yeah,
your little forest corner.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep. Then up here, you've got a trident maple.
Trident
just
maple.
In,
Another
it's
azalea.
in progress, that one. Another azalea.
Yep.
This is a gardenia. It's got full of buds. You can't really see them there, Brad. I don't think very well.
We'll see 'em
But
soon.
I've fed all my azaleas and gardenias and camellias, and the feed killed the moss,
Oh, really?
but the plants are thriving.
Yeah.
So I've got to get through that by keeping them moist, and the green will
moss-
grow back again.
The moss has come back in the last couple of years, but it really copped the pounding in the
That's
drought.
right.
And it's
Yep.
the moss out the side of my house. Like you'll have one dry week
Oh.
and it goes dead,
I know.
and all you
Yep,
need is 2
yep,
days of rain and it comes back.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So Elm inherited. See what I mean by the shape? She didn't really
Ah, yeah.
shape them young enough.
Uh,
This is another maple that I've got a little bit of wire in to make it more horizontal and vertical.
yep.
This one too, as you can see how tiny the leaf is compared to that. It's the same plant, but it's been bonsai'd longer, so the leaves are a lot
The leaves
smaller.
start to shrink, do they?
Yeah.
Where's your
Well,
bonsai?
that's the idea.
That's the goal.
That's the idea. Like, for example, when we get to the fig, I'll
Yeah.
explain that there. But
Well, here's a fig.
that's a fig, but that's another one I inherited, and the shape once again is not.
It does look pretty cool with the bulb there, though. It looks like a
Yeah, yeah.
boab tree.
Another Japanese maple with the little men down the back having a powwow.
Oh, I didn't even see them down there.
Yeah,
They're hiding.
they are.
They're supposed to be working and they're still on smoko.
They're smoking their pipes.
Literal
They-
smoko.
Yes.
I used to work with blokes like that.
That's pistachio. Now, recently, I had it wired to be like this.
Yep.
The wire was starting to dig in with the new season's growth, and it's going back to a vertical shape.
Yeah.
So some do that. They don't
Okay.
retain that shape.
So you got to keep
But,
wiring
but
them every
it's
year.
okay. Well,
Or they're just
not
not good
really. I'll just
contenders.
leave it go a natural shape. Now this is a Lorobatalum. It's supposed to have a deep red leaf. See the new growth at the back? It's starting to come good, but this suffered as well with all the rain, and so I've moved it to here.
Mm.
So I think I'll give it a bit of a trim, and it'll come good next year. It'll be great.
So the ginkgo,
Yeah, that's ginkgo.
is that the stuff they
Ginkgo
put in all the
biloba.
herbal bullshit to eat?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
it's
supposed to give you
ginkgo.
energy and stuff?
Yeah, it grows huge when it's out in the ground,
Yeah.
outdoors. That's those leaves are a bit big yet because I've only just had that a little while, and it's still not a shape yet.
Right.
So I've got to let it get some good growth.
So here's
Now-
the showpiece.
This fig, without the weeds in it, this was my dad's. Oh, and there's a spider there, Brad. If you
Yeah.
get a close up.
Yeah, I did.
This was my dad's. Because the root structure is so big and tough, we put it in a big bowl. We are going to try and get a pot like this one and put it in this bigger one here. Yeah, to be more you know, bonsai.
So how much
but-
room have the roots got? Have you got to pot it up to give the roots more room, or?
Well, like all bonsais, you can chop the roots fairly hard on figs.
Right.
But I didn't want to lose, like under here, you've got a really great, like all figs out in...
Out
not
in the wild.
I was going to say in the wild, but I mean out in, you know, like near Sydney Uni.
Yeah. The
They
Domain
take-
in Sydney,
yeah,
that's another
they take up
place.
huge. See now this, if that was let go, this is 1985.
Right.
This one, that's as big as they go. But if you see a real fig in growing outdoors,
The leaves are
outside,
huge, eh?
it's huge.
Yeah.
So,
So these down here, are they like, is that
yeah, the
literally
aerial roots,
throwing
and they-
roots down?
yeah, and they come down to the soil.
Yeah, cool.
I did cut them off, but I figured.
It's like something out of War of the Worlds, isn't
yeah,
it?
it gives them character.
It's the attack of the
Comes-
Triffids.
It comes right down to find the soil.
Yeah.
Takes root in
And
the
then
soil.
they turn into big vines in
Yeah.
the jungle,
Yeah,
in the jungle,
thick-
in the
thick-
rainforest.
Yeah.
And
That's
there's-
another trident.
Looks happy there with some new growth.
Yeah, yeah. It needs a bit of a prune. I've got to sit down and work on all these again. Like it's constant
Yeah.
size. You can pinch out all this new grass. Like you just get this and you just pinch that out, and you've got to be careful of the sap because
Oh yeah, 'cause it's poisonous.
yeah.
That's
But
the white
that's
sap
how
coming
you're
out there, isn't it?
That's how you're shaping it.
Yeah.
If I don't want it to go too far this way, I'll pinch that out, and that'll just thicken in there.
Yeah.
So, and this is that's another fig that wasn't shaped very nice to start with. This is crabapple. It's looking a bit sad as well, but it's tough, and it's been around since 2010.
2010.
Yep. And that's, I won't say just, azalea, another azalea.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah. This one, I've turned them around. A lot of them are facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
Excuse my glass of bubbly.
It is New Year's Eve.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that one's sort of got to thicken up a lot too, but I've turned them around so they face, you do that facing the sun
Right.
to, you know, so they don't all grow one way. This is a Japanese maple. That was my dad's as well. So that's 1980, that one.
Cool.
2042 years.
Old mate standing
Yeah.
standing guard.
He was supposed to be on the pot. When I repot it, I'll put it so he can, but he'd be on the port list if I put him in there. My buddy, you rub his belly for good luck. I don't know that it works, but
Well,
go through the motions.
plants are all alive.
Yeah, well, that's true. This one is 95,
95er.
that one.
So that's the grunge era,
Well, yeah,
music wise.
yeah. Oh, and weeds, yes, feel free to pull any out you see.
That looks like a bit of volcanic rock in there.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
Where'd you get that from? Just
The bonsai nurseries have rocks.
Yep.
You buy them, you've got to pay for them. But
well, you can walk them
but
probably down to the
if you-
beach, or I'll walk the other day and get them.
I actually have a couple from the beach. You're not
Yeah.
supposed
Oh,
to, so don't say it out loud.
Yeah, don't put it
You're
on
not
YouTube.
allowed. Azalea, again, this is great. This one is two-tone. Half of it reverts back to the original cultivar,
Oh,
and
really?
the other half's a variegated pink.
Huh.
So it's
What was
quite,
it,
quite interesting when it flowers.
Was it what am I trying to say? Grafted.
No,
No?
just they developed new cultivars from two different plants, and sometimes it can revert back to the
it's like
original, what it was.
multiple personalities.
Yeah, well, you could say that.
So what's this up here?
That's a string of pearls.
String of
That's
pearls.
just
That's the one that when you have guests around, their kids love to pull them all off.
yeah.
And that's why they're hanging up in the furthest corner
That's-
from kids, up
Yeah.
against the sit. Up against
Yeah,
the
I've
roof.
just recently redone those, but I think they need to have more shade than they have here.
Yeah.
So I'll have to move those. So here's another, that's another thing. I've got to cut a little, I don't know what happened there, a little dead piece off that. That's around the wrong way as well. Hang on, I'll just turn him around. This little fella. There's a lot of brown happening on there.
Oh yeah.
So I've got to look into that. Sometimes it gets little things in there that eat the
Like
the
aphid
sap.
type things.
Yeah. And then you see the brown, so I've got to work
He's
on
caught one.
Azalea. That's a really nice
Again?
one as well. Yeah, that's spot flowering. They get their all the azaleas get all their flowers in spring. Beautiful mass. They're a mass of flowers. But then after that, they spot flowers, so you get
One
you
or
know,
two. Yeah, mine at home do
couple
that. I
of
was wondering
flowers.
about that.
Yeah, yeah. Autumn, they like to give you a few flowers in autumn.
Oh, look at that.
Azalea, that's baby's tears.
Oh, it's so nice and
It
soft.
started by a tiny little piece. It takes over. Azalea?
Again? Azalea?
Yes.
Azalea?
Azalea.
Azalea? Azalea? Azalea?
Yeah. And
It's
guess
like you're an
what?
azalea bank.
Guess what we have here?
Azaleas?
Yeah. Surprise,
I
surprise.
think you like them a bit.
I do, I love them. In
Is this a
full
cherry?
flower,
I
they're
can-
magnificent.
Cherry?
That's a Japanese cherry.
Boom! I won one.
Yes, you
What do I
did.
win?
Glass of beer.
Okay.
That was just a stick when I bought it, and I said to the guy, the Chinese guy, I said, "What colour is this?" He said, "It's pink." I said, "Great, I'll take it."
It
So we get it home, and when it finally flowered,
was white.
the buds were pink,
Oh yeah.
and then it turned as white as the pot. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, still nice.
And then it turned pink.
Oh, it finally
so it
did.
was pink. The
Ah.
buds and the final flower.
So you thought he was having a Lendia
I
and then
thought- I
it came
thought-
good in the end.
But it was so beautiful. It was a real vivid white, so I was
Yeah.
happy with it anyway.
Cool.
So I haven't bonsai'd it. I think I really like that shape, and when it flowers, it gets big, big clusters. So, and they're sterile. They don't.
It's like the monk of the plant world.
Yeah. Well, that too. Yeah.
It doesn't get any sexy time. So what's this? What's this
so we've
odd?
got
What's this odd? Odd one out over there.
Succulent.
Is that
That's
from
a
near my? Is that from my clothesline?
It's the same one,
Oh, is
but
this?
it's from up my back garden.
I thought it looked familiar. I
It's from the back
thought
garden.
you're just stealing plants
Yeah.
off me. That's alright. You can steal
This
everything.
one's, Brad, this one's a cypress. That's a swamp cypress, and that's a Montezuma cypress.
Ah.
This one, don't look at the grungy water, grungy.
Okay, I'll just take it out of the shot. There you go.
That can sit in water, as the name implies, swamp
Yeah.
cypress. So that's a work in progress. I can't wait. I've seen it really, really thick with these leaves, and it looks absolutely fabulous when it gets its leaves. But so yeah, another
Little trident.
trident, a little what's that one? That's I can't think of the name of that. Purple
That's why the tags are there.
flower, yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
The tag's faded.
You just got to make up botanical names. It's
Jacaranda.
Squatter
It's a- no, it's a
dubiositus.
Jacaranda, Bradley, Jacaranda. I
what's
bought
this
it
one in
about
the-
3 inches high.
Looks like you just gave that one a haircut.
Yeah, that's surprising. It's an olive, the same as that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
That's an old olive, and that's a younger one, and the leaf is very different. But that's an olive.
Hmm. Do you get olives off it?
No,
Damn,
no.
I like
Well,
olives.
maybe when it's older, I'm not sure.
You might get one off it. So is this azalea here, is that the same species as all the others?
They're all
All of
a
them?
different. The better
'Cause the
ones.
leaves all look
the better
different.
one, yeah, they are. The better ones in bonsai are the Kirins. They're the small leaf, small flower.
Yeah, the leaves are tiny.
They're commonly used in bonsais, whereas a lot of the others, you can bonsai them, but the shaping is better. The same as this one, this small leaf one. So that's a common one for bonsai too, because the leaves are small and the flowers are small. So,
Nice.
and then we've got cascading orchids all along there that aren't flowering at the moment, of course. 'cause
Lazy bastards.
it's out of season.
Right, so when's the season for that?
Well, that'll be next spring, early spring,
Yeah.
and they'll all be hanging down.
What's the purple flower there.
That's the petunias.
Petunias.
Yes. With the little fella sitting in there not doing a lot.
Oh, he's having a rest.
He is. He is. So I'm still getting the moss growing in there.
What's he doing? He's
Contemplating
life.
life.
There's a little mondo down there hiding.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a couple of mondo over here
Yeah,
too.
I've planted them around. Yeah, and a cobweb. That's a trident maple. Had that for quite some years too.
So they call it
Okay.
trident, obviously, because of the
Three.
leaf.
Tri. Yep. Yes, it's 3. The Japanese maple is cut leaf, so there's a lot more. 7 is there? 2, 4, 6, 7, I think.
7 points.
Yeah. And that's a fig, weeping fig. I've had that for a long
Wow, look
time
at the
too.
roots.
That's very old, yes. I had that in Queensland.
Try tying that knot.
I'm trying to get the
There's
moss.
a dragon.
Yep. This is Pete the dragon.
Oh, he looks sad. Looks like you just yelled at
Well,
him.
he's all faded. So he said he's lost his colour.
Yeah.
Gee, I tell you what, drought or flood, the weeds thrive. Look at that.
It's a constant battle. You should tell the Galali to do it for you.
Goodness me.
All these
See,
characters
that's what
you're
happened.
housing,
I'm
they're all
not tall enough, Bradley.
all these little characters you're housing, they're all freeloaders.
Oh, I know.
There's Angry Bird here.
Yeah, look at. he's very cross, this one.
He doesn't look too happy.
No.
What do you call these ones?
What? The Rufus palm?
Rufus palm.
Yeah, that one's got to be potted up. This one was done yesterday, 2 days ago.
Right.
And from the one plant, we got that pot, this pot, and the 2 little ones
So it like sends
this
runners.
on here.
Oh yeah.
So they're all in one pot, so you divide it up.
And then they all thicken up like that.
Yeah,
Wicked.
yeah, it's
Oh,
great.
you got a cycad down there.
Yes, yes, I have.
Dinosaur food.
Yes, I'm waiting for that to get new leaves. I'm hoping soon.
So this one here keeps catching my eye.
That's a succulent.
What is it? It's crazy.
I bought that about 4 inches high,
Yeah.
and I've got some in water to take root, and I'll pot it up and get another big pot. It's usually on our table here, but with visitors I've
All
moved it out of the way. So
There's all everywhere you look. There's a little hidey
Maidenhair.
hole. There's a
yeah, that's a
bird's nest in there. There's
Yep.
an owl. there's stuff everywhere.
Yep.
Looks a little bit like my workshop, but for plants.
These, yeah, little bambinos,
Every
little
time,
bamboos.
every time I walk past, I go, "There you going, champ? There
They
you going, mate?"
started as one plant that big, and now there's 1, 2,
So you're breaking
3,
them all
4,
up.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
So you subdivided
divided
all
it.
Yeah.
1 went to 2, 2 went to 4, and then
Wow.
we moved to Queensland. 4 went to
And
8,
And you
and now we've got 11.
put water on them and they multiply just like gremlins.
Yeah, like that. Yep. So a lot of these things are still
That's the
works in progress, like the succulent pot.
Pittosporum hedge,
Yep.
which is just fun to say, let's face it.
There's
Pittosporum.
2 pittosporum.
Pittosporum. Let's have 3 more beers and say it.
Say it fast. That's a lily pilly, this one. New growth, without showing the washing. The new growth is pink. There's one up the back garden too, Bradley, as
Yeah,
well.
they're the ones I planted out the front of mine. Although mine have smaller leaves than that.
We've called this one Heather. That's Pete's sister who passed away
Yeah.
as a young girl. So that's our way of remembering her.
Yeah.
And we've got rosemary and another little hedge. It's a different species.
Still Pittosporum.
Yes, pittosporum. Yep. And Zeb is eating.
Pittosporum variegata. I don't know. I'm making stuff up.
It sounds good, Brad. That'll do.
There's a zebra.
Yes, that's
Zebra.
Zeb eating mondo grass.
This is like a playground for A couple of ducks
For-
for kids.
For kids, for
I'm a big kid.
Crazy Plant Lady.
Yeah, that's
I've
you.
got it on a pot. Pete keeps calling me that all the time. Crazy Plant Lady.
And we've got some evidence of my brother's 6-month-old puppy digging holes and trying to rip up the weed mat.
We have to relay when they go home. Relay all the
A
mulch.
little bit more mulch.
Yes.
Another Christmas bush.
Bush, yeah. That's
Wisteria.
yes.
I know that one.
2 wisterias, yes.
Kangaroo's paw.
Yep. It's
Which-
towards the end of it now, so it's not as vibrant as it was.
Yeah, mine have gone like that too.
Yeah, so I have to plant that in the garden. It's drying out there
Mm.
a little bit. So we've got a flowering gum, bright orange. It should be flowering now and isn't yet, so it's a bit late.
This is where 2019 bushfires, massive plume of smoke
Oh yeah.
was rising up there. It looks scary as hell.
This time last year,
And this time
2 years.
3 years ago. I hate to
was
tell
it?
you.
I thought it was. Oh no, COVID. COVID
Yeah.
first, yeah. Yeah.
We got herb garden.
3 years really.
3 years it was, yeah.
Yes, lots of time.
Lots of time on our
Lots
hands.
of time.
Mm.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Ah, it smells
yeah.
good.
Yep.
Who needs
People
a
can see
supermarket
me
herbs?
sticking my fingers up my nose when I'm in the garden because I'm smelling basil and thyme.
We've got
and,
some sage there, a little bit
oh,
of basil.
That's struggling. Oh,
Struggling a
that's-
bit.
yeah,
It's hard to
that's a
get basil
new-
going. It's either
we
too
just
wet or it's
chopped
too
that
dry.
off, didn't we, for the potato salad?
Yeah,
Yep.
we've already harvested today's herbs, so
Yeah.
they're looking a little bit
Depleted.
depleted.
And then I've got maples and camellias, gardenias.
Menagerie.
Yeah. Gardenia, standard gardenia, beautiful flower. It's still got buds, so I can't cut it back yet.
That's the gardenia there in the
Yep,
middle,
it's a big one, yeah.
the white flowers.
And a crepe myrtle there. Crepe myrtle's at the end. That's just starting to flower now.
Two more up the end.
Yeah.
So what's this one?
A bat plant.
Look at the size of the friggin' leaves.
It gets a flower.
Recently pruned by Zoa.
Yeah.
A flower that looks like a bat. Stands
Yeah,
up this high and
black,
has
isn't it?
whiskers a couple of feet long.
Crazy.
It's got new growth in there now, so I'm trying to encourage those to come towards the sun this way.
Come towards the sun. This beer here.
Oh,
I'm trying to
Bradley's
encourage
the sun too, yeah.
it. Yeah.
It's-
What's going on here? You've got two different things happening at
oh
once.
God, and dead leaves, Bradley. Your timing is lousy.
It's alright.
Beautiful maiden.
Yeah, that's.
What's that
that's
underneath?
that's in the pot.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, Peter. You can have that.
It's pruning time.
Ripsalis. It's one of the there's a million Ripsalises, but that's a Ripsalis, and then the maidenhair grew out the top. So.
What,
from
did you
the
grow it in
kitchen-
there or it just popped up?
No, it just came by itself because I had that other maidenhair over here.
Yeah.
It was hanging on the wall, and from the kitchen you see
Yeah,
the back
that's
of the
nice.
maidenhair and this hanging. So I just left it. It looked good. So it's just one of those things that came up, and of course I love maidenhair. There's Zara and the gatekeeper.
Hara.
She's a
Hara.
O'Hara, the keeper of
Hara
the
the-
what
The finger of noses.
She keeper of women, a watcher over women, and that's the gatekeeper.
Old mate.
His ear came off when we travelled.
Oh yeah, the old epoxy job there. Does the job. So what got you into gardening?
A long, long time ago,
In a land far, far away.
in a land far, far away. My dad and mum were both gardeners, but mum was busy in the house with cooking, with 5 kids cooking and sewing and knitting and crocheting, and I was outside hanging on to my dad while he's crouching down weeding, and I used to help him in the garden
Yeah.
instead of being inside learning how to cook and sew, etc.
All the boring stuff.
So I just love gardening, and I always have. I just do love
Yeah.
it.
All right.
That's why. Since I was little, I still can't play piano like my sisters can, and
Oh,
I
I
can't
tried to.
crochet like they can.
Piano's one of those things. Yeah, you need a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Like guitar.
There's another cut leaf. That's what happens when you don't put it in a pot.
Mm.
It takes the whole corner of the garden.
Just goes crazy.
Yeah. Don't ask me the name of that because I've forgotten.
You were worried about, you wanted to work at a nursery at some time, I remember. And you're,
I worked at a wholesale and retail nursery in the Blue Mountains, but that was slave labour, really.
yeah,
You had to separate the
propagation.
plants in the punnets
Yep.
to one plant only. We used to cheat and leave two in for people, but don't tell the management that. And I worked at a nursery at St Mary's on the highway that's not there now. That was retail, and that was great fun. I used to give the little old ladies a piece of, you know, some of the little
Yep.
plants that they liked.
Mm.
I'd nick a bit off.
Oh, just quietly.
They'd take home, yeah. They're not there now. So.
Yeah. Mate, I no wonder why. You sent them broke.
I did. They were only little pieces. This is a fabulous camellia. I did standardise that, but you can't really tell, but it's up off the ground. It's called With Love, and it's a beautiful mass of pink in spring.
Well, this was weeded
Pink.
less than a month ago.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
don't.
It's a lot of work. Weeping cherry?
Weeping cherry, that I have to come out and prune some of those wayward
Oh, yeah.
pieces, but that's trunk's getting nice and thick.
So this is the one you're talking about that,
Fiddle.
Yes, the fiddlewood, the same as bonsai.
so it's anti-deciduous.
It's
Loses its loses its leaves in spring.
Yep, and summer.
Right. And so what about this one, because it's yellow?
It's
That's
Robinia.
a golden robinia.
Is that the same?
It's a different
Oh,
type.
should that be
but-
full of leaves?
Yeah, it should be.
Something going on.
I'm not sure because when we put the new driveway in, they had to cut the roots back.
Oh, okay.
So we'll probably have to.
I'll have to
chop
prune it back pretty hard.
back. When you prune those, suckers come up somewhere else in the garden.
Oh, really?
So,
Another
And-
cut from edge.
Another big hedge.
Pittosporum. Hedge. A bit gappy.
It'll fill out, mate.
It'll come good, yeah.
So what are these? These are burrowing. That's right. I
They're
was trying to remember the word.
burrowings, but they're kept small
That's
in a
another-
pot. You put them in the garden and they're huge. They take over.
That's another Australian native. You find that all in the bushland
Oh yeah,
around
under
here.
shaded trees it grows best.
Millions of them.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah.
They look good. And guess what?
More azaleas.
Azaleas. Surprise, surprise. They're all a mass of colour. That one's a white perfume one actually. You don't get many
There you go, champ.
perfume. Azalea Happy Days. That's a beautiful vivid colour, that one. I've made that into a standard. That came from the Blue Mountains, how many years? 15 years ago. Came with me. Azalea,
Azalea?
Camellia.
Camellia?
I
Azalea? Camellia?
standardised that.
What's this one?
Weeds.
In the middle.
This one, that's a rhododendron. Now there's a
Rhododendron.
story to that one as well. My brother took cuttings of a rhododendron in my mum and dad's backyard at Warramoo. And he gave them to me when we lived in the mountains, and I bought them here and planted them, and that's it. And the cuttings were about foot tall
Yeah.
at the time. And it's a mauve flower, and it's absolutely beautiful. So-
Here's a grass tree, formerly known as
Yes.
Black Boy.
And it's a double. They've got two lots of...
Two spears.
Two spears on. It's looking a little bit... When you let the spear grow, it depletes the plant a little bit.
Okay, because it takes all its energy.
Some people take the flowers out straight away.
Just to let it
But
go.
because it was, it was two, I said I'll leave them. And the bees love it.
Oh, yeah.
The bees,
'cause it's
before
covered
it
in
gets
pollen.
those seeds, it's the end of it now.
Yeah.
But it's usually covered in pollen. The bees love it.
Right.
So, yeah. And I've got a million weeds. I can tell you the names of all of those too if you'd like, but I'm not going to. So I've got standard camellias with azaleas towards the front and towards the back of gardenias.
Yep.
That's a perfumed camellia. That one in a pot. Azalea in a pot. That's a Daphne. That's a beautiful, beautiful perfume, Daphne. It's a bit tricky. It can die for no reason, but it seems to like it there. The top leaves are a bit wrinkly though, so
Just got to sweet talk it.
yeah. So camellias, azaleas in the front of the gardenias all along.
Oh, this is that one we cut back like crazy that time I
Yes,
came up.
It needs trimming.
Used to
and
be like
60 million weeds.
5 meters tall.
So azaleas.
Camellias and azaleas
And
and
azaleas.
camellias. So here's another one, odd one out, silver birch.
Silver birch. Yeah. Got your grey too.
I think it's because of extra water.
Lavender.
Lavenders.
A couple of little bees doing their
Oh,
thing.
the bees love the lavender. Yeah, they love it. Yep. I've planted a couple more lavenders there.
Brings all the bees to the yard. My lavender is better than yours. Hello.
And this is a crepe myrtle you guys gave us when we lived in
Wow.
the mountains.
The size of it.
Yeah.
I remember buying that.
See the flower? It's, whoops!
Oh.
I just pruned.
That's just unintentional pruning.
It doesn't matter. Grows crazy. And that's a magnolia. It's not supposed to be flowering at the moment. That's the colour of the flower. It grows about this big. That's faded, and that's the trouble. That's why it shouldn't flower in summer.
Ah, right.
But
Doesn't like
why
the
it is,
sun.
I don't know.
They come in on.
So underneath.
So, thanks for the tour.
That's what I mean.
You're welcome.
I think it's beer o'clock now. What do you reckon?
I think a bubbly would go down nicely for New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year, champions. Have a good one. See
Yep.
ya.
Bye.
See you with some more musically related stuff in the new year if I feel like it. It's my channel. You get what you're given.
You do.
Happy New Year.
Bye.